guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Duma. If you're new here, welcome. Let's do the little clap for you. And you're a returning subscriber. I'm so happy to have you here to watch my video again. So today we're going to be answering some of the questions. I asked you guys to ask me some questions and I'll be answering all of them. So basically these questions are all about Romania and studying in Romania. You know, I always give you guys the best. So if you would love to study in Romania and you want to see me answer these questions, just keep watching. So I have a few questions I asked on my Instagram. If you're not following me on my Instagram, it's Regal Baby. I'll put it somewhere on the screen. So always follow me. I always try to do questions and answer your questions, you know. So I've got a few questions here and I will try to answer them as much as I can, because some of them are just questions I need to like explain, you know. So but I'm just going to try my best. But the first question is, when is Romania going under Schengen? Like how should I know? I'm not the Romanian, I'm not the president of Romania, so I don't know. I know that last year they applied and we were like this close to getting into the Schengen, but somehow I think that one country was against, and because of that we could not get into the Schengen. We are hoping that we'll get into the Schengen, but for now we're not in the Schengen countries. We're not part of the Schengen countries. So I don't know what we're going to get in, but I'm being hopeful and I really want us to get into the Schengen so I can not pass through the stress of getting a visa if I want to travel. For the second question here is, can we do part-time jobs in Romania and how much do they pay? I will just speak a bit about this, but I will emphasize more on this topic in my next video. So basically, as an international student, you're entitled to work and study too, but you have to work only 4 hours a day. I spoke about this in my previous video, which I would link somewhere. You can go and see that, things that you should know before moving to Romania. Like that video, it's a must watch if you want to come to Romania. So like I was saying, you can work 4 hours. If you're a student here, a part-time job, you're allowed to work 4 hours. And how much is the pay? I would say it depends. So let's say minimum of 1,500, but it can be more than that, 1,500 Romanian lei, and in euros, let's say it's going to be around 300 euros. 300 euros, yeah, 300 euros, yes, 300 euros. And it could be more depending on the kind of job that you work and the rest of them. So that's it. So the next question is, how many days does it take to receive the admission letter after the submission of the application form? I would try to answer this question, but it's a very complex question. So it said, how many days does it take to receive the admission letter after the submission of the application letter or the application form? Yeah, application form. So I would say it depends on the school, number one. Some schools, when they get the application, they send it to the ministry, and when the ministry responds, they send it back to the school, and then the school can reach out to you, and then after you pay your tuition and it's confirmed, then they send it to the ministry to get your admission letter out. So you see, it's a long process, and which I have already explained in some of my videos, and I will link it there if you want to watch. But basically, I cannot really tell you how many days because it's different depending on the school, and it could take so long. That's just what I'm going to say about that. And the next question is it possible to work while studying? Same question. Like I said, it's very possible, 100% possible for you to work and study, but you have to work just 4 hours a day. I'm sorry. So the next question is, does the university answer immediately after you submit the documents to them? I think the person is trying to ask if the university responds immediately after you must have submitted your application. I would say number one, it depends on the school. Sometimes it takes long, they don't even reply you. You have to just try to keep reaching out to them and the rest of them. And that's it. It's an online application, because most schools now do online application, so it's very easy. When you submit, you would see that it has been submitted, and they will send you an email when they have any information for you. That's it. So the next question I have here is, how is the medicine in Romania? Like, do they teach in groups? So that I would answer this question. I'll answer the first one and then the second one. How is medicine like in Romania? So basically in Romania, medicine is taught like how it starts. Okay, I'm joking. So medicine is taught in English, in Romanian, and in French. So if you are from an English speaking country, you do not really need to have any special exams to write for you to study medicine in English in Romania. But if you are from a country that doesn't speak in English, you might have to write an exam for you to study in English. And if you want to study in Romania, you need to do the Romanian language. And if you want to study in French, you need to know French and a proof that you know French. And the second question is, do they teach in groups? So basically, I'll use my school as an example just to explain what I'm trying to say. After the admission process and the school, they have chosen how many students that they want to choose for the year. So what they do is that they split the student into half. It's called the first series, and the second half is called the second series. And in the first series, they also split them into smaller groups, and each group containing like 6, 7, and 8 students maximum. And so what the first series, they split them into 6 groups. That's the group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, and group 5, and then group 6. And the second group is also split into smaller groups from group 7, 8 to 11 or 12, depending on how many students that they are in the group, and in the year that was accepted in the year. And I think one interesting thing that I love that Romania do is that they try to bring students from the same country together, try to merge them together so that they don't feel left out, and also bring international students and Romanian. They like try to just bring the group together. Let me say in a group 1, we have a few students from Serbia, we have a few Somalians, sorry, forgive me for pronouncing that wrong, Somalians, I think, yes. Please, if you're Somalian here, forgive me, I promise, I don't know. So, and they also bring Romanians too. But I try to bring them together just to bring a bit of diversity and cohabitation. When there's a Romanian, there's a Somalian, there's a Nigerian in a group, we try to intermingle and just, it's just interesting for us to learn different cultures and also bond together and work as a team. So I think that's very interesting that Romanians do that. So you don't really feel left out because you have a brother in the group, and as a Romanian, you don't also feel left out because you have a Romanian in your group, and you also have an international student, someone that's not from your tribe. So you are learning from the person is learning from you. If it's a teamwork, you guys are bringing minds together, rubbing minds together, and that's so beautiful, and I love that about Romanian. So the next question that we have is, okay, how is the lifestyle cost over here, like the accommodation, food, shopping, and so on? I would say Romanian, it's a bit cheaper to compare with most Schengen countries and maybe the US and the UK. They give quality education, and things are less expensive to compare with a lot of European countries, so which is very good. But I have a detailed video about this, so if you really want to know, I think you should go and watch that video. It'll be linked somewhere or in the description box. So the last question here before I leave is what's the difficulty you're facing or you have faced in Romania? As an international student, obviously, like, you're gonna face a lot of difficulties because it's not your country. But I would say one of the most difficult thing that I'm still facing, and I have faced, is the language barrier. And in as much as I try to learn the language, and I'm an international student, I speak English, and obviously English is very different from Romanian, so it's very difficult for me to learn, though I try to learn and understand. But there are opportunities that I don't have access to as a medical student that a Romanian has. So I think that's one of the biggest issues that I'm facing. But don't mind me, it's really fine. I'm coping well, and over time I'm learning how to deal with these difficulties and how to just bypass them. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe and share it to any of your friends that want to study in Romania. And I love you. See you in my next video.